We are back. You know, I met you years and years ago when we both worked on Saturday Night Live around the same time, and I got to know a little bit about you. The thing that I found out about you then is that you had been an actor as a child. You got started very young.
Yeah, I did. Gilda Radner played my mother in a TV commercial when I was 10 years old, and it was a 4-day shoot for some Canadian product, and I fell in love with her, and I cried at the end of it, and my brothers called me Sucky Baby. And, then one day, Sucky Baby, which they still call me. But, and then my brother Peter said, "Hey, Sucky Baby, your girlfriend's on some stupid show. It's on Saturday night. It doesn't even have a name." And it was Saturday Night Live, and I turned and I went, "Wow, that's what I want to do with my life." And you know, I have to say, it has just been an unbelievable dream come true. I can't believe that it's gone as great as it has, and that I'm still employed, and
that,
you know, it's been great. But I also want to say something too, if I could just say something. The nicest person that I ever worked with at Saturday Night Live was Conan O'Brien. He took me under his wing when I first got there. Literally, my office was me cross-legged by the elevator bank, sitting on my coat. And Conan would go to the security dudes. "No, actually, he works here. He actually works here."
I remember the first day you showed up wearing a leather jacket that had the Canadian flag on the back of it, which I thought was very cool.
Yes. Well, if you're Canadian, you're issued all of your clothing. Woo! All of your clothing is issued with a Canadian flag on it.
Yeah, everything.
That's just
your underwear,
yes.
everything. But you know what I didn't realize is that there are a lot of younger people that get into acting. But you actually had the classic experience of like traveling. You traveled as a young child actor with your mom. You went places. You did things.
The inverse. Most people that want to get into the performing arts, their parents are like, "Really? That's what you want? Why don't you get a real job?" But my parents were like, they're from Liverpool, England, super funny, and my parents were like, "Why would you want to be an architect? Why don't you be an actor, you know, with a real job, like, you know?" And so it was the inverse and opposite. So I traveled all over the world. I did a film for World Housing that I went to Venezuela, Caracas, Venezuela, with my mom, and which was just surreal. But at the hotel, as it turns out, the actress, Catherine Deneuve, was there. Now, you have to understand something about my mother. My mother is brilliant. My mother is wonderful. I love her. She encouraged me to be, she's eccentric, you know? But she's very strange, my mother. And Catherine Deneuve was there, and we were at the pool of this hotel, and it had rained. And so as you sat on the cushions, it looked like you were peeing. You know what I mean?
The water would just shoot out.
The water would shoot out of the cushion, right? And Catherine Deneuve was laughing, and my mom was like, "Oh, isn't that funny?" And she waved, and evidently Catherine Deneuve went, "Oh, hi." And my mother said, "I think bloody Catherine Deneuve fancies me." I'm like,
and how old are you at this point?
I'm like 11. I'm like, I don't want to hear that. She's like, "Oh, I think she fancies me rotten." And then she said, "Well, you know them French actresses, any port in a storm." I'm like, don't say stuff like that to me. Don't say stuff. If they start to find out that, like, I've cut off people's head and left them in dumpsters, it will be traced back to this moment.
Yeah, she's scarring you.
She's very, very, very eccentric, my mother, but very, very smart and very, very funny, and I love you, so.
All right. That's nice that she's watching, too.
She is, yeah.
Let's talk about the Love Guru. Very funny and a character that I had not. It's a character that I haven't seen before, which is really fun.
Well, that's what I like to do. I like to do different things. I like to do new things. I get excited. I feel very privileged to be able to do this work. And every time I go out, I want to try and do something new. The response has been unbelievably great. This is one of the happiest times of my life because it's just a fun character. I had a blast making it, and the response has been overwhelming, I have to say. So
we have a clip here, and it's not an easy plot to summarize quickly.
Yes.
But the Love Guru is trying to help out.
You know how the Yankees hired a guru? The Toronto Maple Leafs hired a guru because their main player has love problems. I come in, solve the love problem so I can solve the team. That's
and I think we have a clip here. Do you know which one this is? I think this is a clip with you and an old friend of yours that you've worked in.
Vern Troyer.
Vern Troyer,
yeah. Vern Troyer got hired. Yes, Vern Troyer.
Yeah.
The director of Austin Powers hired Vern Troyer, right? He cast him, you know, and I hadn't met him. I started talking to him on the first day, and he's so verbal, and which is so ironic that Mini-Me does not talk.
Right, right.
So I'm like, it's been my goal to have a situation where I can get Vern Troyer to talk and to have a character, and he plays Coach Punch Cherkov, and which is a Russian name. And Coach Punch Cherkov is the main obstacle to the guru working with the main hockey player, Romney Malco. And he's just so awful. This guy is just so mean and vile and just a horrible, horrible dude. And Vern knocks it out of the park. And so this is
Let's take a look at this clip from The Love Guru.
Way to go, Roanoke.
Are you all right? I'd like to thank the Academy. Wow, these things are heavy. Yeah.
Put me down, jackass.
Okay.
It's a good chemistry. The Love Guru opens on Friday. Mike, always nice to see you. Thanks so much for being here. Mike Myers.